I have been consuming a frankly unholy amount of bookish content, so I've decided it is time for myself to get in front of the camera and record some videos of my own. And what better way to start than with book boyfriend tier ranking? Oh my god, it's gonna be so good. I have got book boyfriends from around 10 different, I wouldn't say, like 10-ish different fandoms, so I'm gonna be ranking them. Some of these I have read the books of, some of them I haven't. So I'm gonna be ranking these guys that I don't personally know yet, based on appearance and what I've seen on TikTok. Alright, let's see if I actually remember all the names here. The first one, I think this is Aaron Warner from Shatter Me. That is also on my list. I don't typically read dystopian, but I've heard a lot about Shatter Me, so we're gonna get there eventually. As for Aaron, okay. So, first of all, he's blonde. So he's automatically not my type. I'm sorry for all of the blondes here on the list. I don't mind blondes. It's just not typically what I find myself gravitating towards. But from what I've seen on TikTok, I am going to really like his attitude, because I don't know why, but I like boys with attitude problems. Or, well, men with attitude problems. So, I don't know. For now, I'm probably gonna say, are you okay? Are you okay, sir? I'm gonna put him in there, and I might change my mind later when I've actually read Shatter Me. Next up, we have Alec Lightwood. This is a Are You Okay? Just, I've never been a fan of Alec. I have actually not read the Mortal Instruments book series. I have watched the movie, and I've watched the Shadowhunters TV show multiple times, and I have read the Infernal Devices. So I'm quite familiar with the universe, and I'm quite familiar with the cast. But Alec, him and I were just... we don't see eye to eye. Next up, Azrael from ACOTAR. I'm going to put him in Married Bliss. Az and I, we have beef. Actually, I have beef with pretty much all of the ACOTAR men since ACOSIF. That book, ACOSIF, has ruined pretty much all of the men in that book series. Like, I don't know what happened to Reese in that book. I don't know what was up with that bonus chapter of Azrael and Court of Silver Flames. We don't talk about it, okay? Before ACOSIF, I considered Azrael to be soulmates tier. God, I hope they redeem. Oh God, what happened? It's just so much trauma. We're not gonna get into it. Next, we have Cardin Greenbrier. Okay, hear me out. Cardin is my top. Like, he's in my top book boyfriends. Cardin is everything. I have never even had a thing for bully romances before I read The Cruel Prince. I didn't even know what bully romances were when I started reading it, but Cardin has like skyrocketed his way all the way up to like top tier when it comes to my book boyfriends. So he's gonna stay there probably for a long time to come. Next up, we have, this is Cassian from ACOTAR. I know a lot of people, especially TikTok really loves Cassian. I love Cassian. Cassian is an awesome person. He's a great friend. He's an incredible person to have around. And he's also a really sweet boyfriend. But there's absolutely zero romantic interest for me towards him. So I would put him in must protect, but I see him more as like a BFF. Like, I would be ride and die for this man, just not in a romantic sense. So, best friends. That's where Cassian goes. Next up, Castile Denier from Blood and Ash. Okay, I have a lot of beef with this book series, and I have a lot of beef with Castile. Jail. Castile, just no. No. I'm not gonna get into it. Excuse my cat, who currently has zoomies. Alright, next up, this is the Darkling, from the Grishaverse trilogy. I haven't read the Grishaverse trilogy yet. It is on my list. I'm not really in a rush to read it anytime soon, but I will get to it eventually. I have read Six of Crows, and I'm in the process of finishing Crooked Kingdom. But I've watched the show. I love the show. Actually, the show is what initially got me into. Oh my god, my cat. She. The show is what actually got me interested in reading the books, so I have a decent understanding. I know that the show is vastly different to the source material. Don't worry about it. I know. We're fine. I have a somewhat controversial opinion on the Darkling. It's not really controversial. I kind of like him. Not in the sense of like we're like romantic, like I like him. It's more like I kind of understand how someone could develop the way that he did with the things that have happened to him, and how his worldview kind of came to be. And while I don't really agree with his actions throughout the story, I see where he's coming from. And I don't disagree with his entire ideology. Obviously, he does a lot of bad things, like putting a collar on a girl. We don't do that, not without consent. But I think he's gonna go in Are You Okay? I do like the Darkling. I like that he's not a really good, but also not a bad person. I just like complex people. I like people who aren't easy to like or easy to hate. And I think he fits that bill pretty well. Next, we have Dorian from Throne of Glass. Now, like I said, I haven't read Throne of Glass. Just from the looks, he fits my aesthetic. I need him to look a little bit more beaten up. Speaking of which, I have been watching like Kaz Brekker, that scene in Six of Crows where he's beating up the dregs in the bar. I have been watching so many edits of that scene where he's like all bloody and beaten up and his hair is in his face. Yeah, so he fits the aesthetic. If he was just a little bit bloodier, he would be top tier. Since I don't know him, I'm gonna say best friends. He seems like a cool dude, so I'm gonna put him there. And then we have Jace Herondale. So here's the thing: Shadowhunters, the TV show, Jace Herondale. Oh yes, yes, Dominic Sherwood. It's a yes. Book Jace Herondale. It's a Are You Okay, sir? That whole sibling thing is the reason why I'm probably never going to read the original series in the Shadowhunters universe and only the other books. So it's a no for me. And then we have Jax from Caraval and Once Upon a Broken Heart. He's a toughie. Initially, I wanted to put him in Are You Okay? Because Jax, Are You Okay? Because I don't think he is, let's be honest. Jax has issues, understandably so, with his role and everything. But damn, he could make some kind of effort to communicate a little bit better. Like, it's a little unnecessary and a little annoying. I'm gonna say I think he's the kind of personality I would find myself drawn to. I have in the past in real life. It is very annoying. But I'm gonna say it wouldn't work out because it really wouldn't. It hasn't so far. James Herondale. I haven't actually read the Last Hours trilogy yet. It is on my list. I am highly anticipating it. But I've seen a couple of things here and there, and I think from what I've heard and from what I've heard people say, James is going to be on the top tier list. So for now, preemptively, I'm gonna put him in Mary Bliss. Jamie Fraser. Okay. Again, a fandom where I have not read the books, but I have seen the show. I am all caught up. I love Outlander, adore it, loved it from the first episode on. I've got multiple people in my life to also get into Outlander. And Jamie Fraser is what I describe as my ultimate, like what I look for in a guy. He is it. If we're talking like real life boyfriend, like the kind of values that I look for IRL in a man, show Outlander Jamie is exactly what I like, the standard. He is the bar. And then we have Jem Castares. Jem is one of my all-time favorite fictional characters, not just like book boyfriends, but favorite fictional characters. He has, oh my god, the things that he went through, not just in Infernal Devices, but throughout the entire Shadowhunters timeline. He deserves everything pure and good in this world, and I will die on that hill. He must be protected. 100%. Every time I talk and think about Jem Casteres, like, and I think about Clockwork Princess, I just start crying. It's been weeks. I still cry. I'm gonna need to have words with Cassandra Clare. A little less emotional, but definitely still emotional wreckage tier is Kaz Brekker from Six of Crows. I love Kaz Brekker, as you might have already gleaned from what I've said throughout the video. Absolutely love Kaz Brekker. Both in the show, God, Freddie Carter is such a great Kaz, and in the books, he's such a good character. We also actually have a lot in common without like being weird or quirky. Genuinely, we both are completely emotionally inept people who also have a fear of physical touch. Neither one of us likes to be touched, even though we crave touch from the ones that we love. He is soulmates tier. Lucien, I forgot his last name. He doesn't like to use his last name anyway. Lucian, I always say Lucien. I really like him. I think he's quite underrated. I know a lot of people like him on TikTok, which is why he's on this list. But I feel like in general, it's just he's kind of overrated. People shit on him a lot for what happened in Echo War. I really like Lucien. I think he's getting a little too much flack, and I could see us being best friends. Next, we have Magnus Bane, literally carrying the entirety of the Shadowhunters universe on his back, being there for everyone through generations and generations of Shadowhunters and Downworlders and what have you. Poor guy. I don't know if best friends or must protect. Must protect I reserve for people who like hold a very like special tender characters who hold a very special and tender place in my heart. Magnus isn't one of those, but I do really like and appreciate Magnus, so I'm gonna put him in best friends. Then we got Nikolai Lantsov. Oh god. Yeah, Nikolai, who I only know from the Shadowhunters TV show. Again, I haven't read the Grease Rivers yet. Not a fan, I'm not gonna lie, but I think that has to do with the actor. I'm not vibing with the actor. I think the character is really beloved, like TikTok is crazy over Nikolai. And I think from what I've seen character description wise, he would be one of my favorites as well. But since I can't judge, since I haven't read King of Scar and Grease Rivers yet, I'm gonna have to judge by what I'm seeing from the show. So this is hard. I'm gonna put him in best friends, I think. Because I think we would be really good friends. Oh boy. Oh, Reese. Oh, Reese. What has A Court of Silver Flames done to you? I am never gonna get over how that book ruined the bad boys. To me, I just don't consider ACOTAR canon. Just for me, it ends after Echo War for now, unless there's like the next few books that come out, just make it all better. But as it is right now, it ends after Echo War. Trilogy Reese, yes, 100%. Mary Bliss. He used to be soulmates tier, but just I like I said, the same deal as with Azriel. As much as I want to try and forget what happened in ACOSF, it's soured my love for these characters just a little bit. So, all right, next up we have Rip Slade. What's his name? Is it Rot? I want to say Rot. Is it Rip? The plated prisoner. The guy. God, I'm so sorry. I haven't read it. I'm not going to read it. I've read the first few chapters on Amazon, and it doesn't seem like my style of book, so it's not on my TBR, but TikTok is crazy over this series, so he's on this list. I'm gonna say, Are You Okay? From what I've seen, it's either jail or Are You Okay? I don't know enough to put him in jail, but I know the little that I know is enough to make me question, Are you okay? And then we have Rowan, another Throne of Glass character. Him, I have a feeling, is going to easily be Married Bliss. once I actually get to it. He has that vibe, and also he has a white hair. Like if you want to know the first two things about me, other than I like men who are bloodied and beaten and vulnerable. Oh my god, do I need help? Am I okay? The other things is either they have dark hair, like really, really dark, almost black hair, or they have white hair. That's who I'm into. So Rowan, I have a feeling from what I've seen on TikTok and from what I know of my taste, he's probably gonna be Married Bliss. Next we have Rune Danan. Danan? How do you pronounce it? I haven't read Crescent City yet. It's on my Sarah J. Maas shelf over there. I haven't read it yet. I have both the first and the second one. I'm waiting for the third one to be released before I start reading them, because I know that the second one, I've been told, ends on a massive cliffhanger, and I don't want to get into that if I then have to wait another year until February for the third one to be released. So I'm waiting with the entire Crescent City book series. But I have seen that famous Rune Danan sound on TikTok. It lives rent free in my head. It's been months. I still see it occasionally. The little bit that I know of Crescent City, I feel like I'm gonna be a Hunt Athalar kind of gal. I love angels, and he has that vibe. But I know that the girlies are really, really into Rune, and I feel like he's a really, really good guy. I don't know. Because like I'm not feeling the vibe. Like aesthetically, I'm not feeling it. Maybe I'm gonna preemptively say best friends. We'll see. Tam Tam. Okay. So I don't like blondes. No, that's an exaggeration. I don't not like blondes. They're fine. I just don't prefer them. Are you okay? Ooh, and then we have Will Herondale. That's an easy must protect. Like these two, Gem and Will, I'm not gonna think about the Inferno Devices. I will cry. Next up is Wrath from Kingdom of the Wicked, which I also haven't read. I don't know anything about that book. Nothing. I see a lot of fan art around, and I see people mention Kingdom of the Wicked a lot on TikTok, but I know nothing about this man. Like, nothing. So I'm gonna say he strikes me as kind of boring. I know he's the bad guy. He's the main love interest from what I know. I'm gonna say he's the cookie cutter generic. He's hot, but like he's also morally gray, but like he will treat you like a princess, but like he will cut a bitch if they're giving you a mean look. That kind of person, which is nice, but there's so many of them. I'm gonna say it wouldn't work because I'd probably get bored. That's just what I'm going by not knowing anything about it. Please don't hate me. Oh god. Next up, we have so far I've kept this entire tier list mainly fantasy romance related. This dude, I think his name is Zaid, is from, I think it's Hunting Adeline. Jail. What the shit I know about this man from TikTok alone. I've never read the books. I have no intention of reading Hunting Adeline. But I see so many TikToks, and I watch every single one of them, like talking about the things that they would let this man do to them. Are you guys okay? Like from the small excerpts that I've seen of this book of like scenes with him in it, what is going on in that book? I'm not sure I want to know. So jail, right there with Castile. You're in good company. And then last on this list is, I almost said Rune. It's Rain from Serpent and the Wings of Night. A surprising 5-star read. I adore the entire series. If you haven't read it, if it's on your TBR and you've been back and forth about whether or not you want to read it or like bump it up a little bit, do it. It's an incredible book. Rain is Mary Bliss. I'm missing that little bit of like pain that would make him soulmates. But I think Mary Bliss. I'm actually quite surprised that there's only 2 in Wouldn't Work Out. Actually, you know what? I think I'm gonna have to move Asriel into Wouldn't Work Out. But then I would have to move Reese down as well. Okay, so Reese, I fell in love with Reese before I fell in love with as a character. So I think Reese is always gonna be just the tiniest bit higher, even though I technically relate to Az more. But just that whole thing with a necklace, just it gave me the ick. It yep. So I think I'm happy with where the tier list is now. Yeah. Well, there we go. That's my finished tier list. It's most likely subject to change when I continue reading more books, especially when I start reading in front of class. But yeah, this was a lot of fun. I like ranking this. I should probably do a version with girls, like favorite book girlfriends at some point as well. So we'll see. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Bye!